Hello there, everybody. Welcome into the Could Be Better podcast. My name is Colin McGuire. My co-host is...
It's me.
Yeah, it's Chris Perry. This week we have a very special guest. Very, very, very special guest. One of the most specialist guests we've ever had.
Do you think she's the most special?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Okay, we won't tell anybody else, but is she your favorite guest?
She's certainly the most talented person in this room. I'll tell you that.
I mean, yeah, that's like by a long shot.
Natalie Brooke, ladies and gentlemen, came through. We had a fantastic conversation, though we didn't get to any of the jazz fusion questions I wanted to. Hopefully we'll have her on again.
Yeah, speed round, and we'll have it'll kind of be like Family Feud, but we'll call it Jazz Feud. It'll be cool.
Yeah, we'll play Wheel of Fortune.
Speaking of Wheel of Fortune, this podcast is brought to you by our friends. And
speaking of Wheel of Fortune, like, this is the most ridiculous ways you do this.
Is it ridiculous?
There's absolutely.
Am I was getting higher every time I'm asking this?
Go ahead. Old mother, we love you.
Oh man, yeah, I was about to say, are they family at this point? Like, did you get invited to Thanksgiving?
We need more beer, old mother. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Hey guys, we are out. Like out. We've done 4 episodes since you guys have delivered a stash. And you know what's funny? Tonight, I was expecting to take a photo of the fridge with all the beer that was in there, and there was no more left. We had the last 2 tonight
4.
with our guests. Yeah, it was
last
crazy.
4.
Old Mother Brewing, they are doing something special this month. And Colin, I don't know if you'll join me in this effort, but for the month of May, they are doing this really cool thing called... or it's a collaboration with Stash Strong. Do you know what Stash Strong is?
No, I couldn't even speculate.
It is an organization that helps raise funds and awareness for brain cancer research. And so we like to joke here on the podcast, but brain cancer is certainly not a joke. So what's something I didn't know about is that apparently that takes the lives of roughly 15,000 people in the U.S. every year. And so what's cool is Old Mother gets to contribute $1 of every pint in support of the brain cancer research with Stash Strong. So they are making a twist on their IPA of the West Coast Style 86, and they are calling it the Stash Strong Session IPA. And Colin, when I'm reading this, I'm not an alcoholic, but I do kind of like salivate just a little bit. It is a ripe orange and grapefruit aromas with some bitterness with a clean, dry finish. And it's on draft right now. You can also get it in cans, and the can design, please check it out. It's at Old Mother Brewing on Instagram. The design is just the sweetest. The sweetest.
There's no easy transition out of that, so the segue will be this. I have a 5-pound gummy bear. What do you think about my 5-pound gummy bear?
So I slid it in the box, and it made such a noise when it hit the bottom of the box, and it was on top of your stove at the Could Be Better Studios, that I said sorry because I thought I broke something.
You broke 2 burners.
Damn.
That's what you did.
So this is actually a perfect segue because it was on the episode with the owners of Old Mother, where we were talking about the 5-pound gummy, and a friend, a fan, a lifelong pal has sent us, has sent you at the Could Be Better Studios, which is, you sent me a photo.
It was addressed to the Could Be Better Studios. We should say that.
We've made it.
For those of you who think we are lying that we have studios, we proved that we actually have studios.
Yeah, like we get fan email all the time. We've never gotten fan mail. So shout out to Gummy Bear Lover 69 who sent that in to us, and she is super kind.
It is. Well, it's a she, huh? It's a she?
Oh, I do. I do.
3 different colors.
Yeah, it's red, yellow, and then kind of like a blue-green. I don't know
it's
what color
green.
it is.
I think it's green. I really do at one point, and maybe I've been told we have a YouTube page. I think we should.
We do.
Not tonight, but at some
tonight.
point open it and try a piece. I want to see what it tastes like.
So I have a rebuttal to that. You said a piece. That's not what the people want.
Oh, you want to? There's no possible way we can eat the whole thing. There's no possible way. Not in one setting.
Dude, that's only 2.5 pounds each.
That's only a baby.
Dude, babies are not 2.5 pounds.
They are if they haven't shit yet.
Oh my God. Dude, baby. No. Listen, we could do that. We could go Instagram Live right now. All right.
Well,
fans.
We're not going on Instagram Live
fans,
right now.
Friends. That could be better family. Please reach out and tell us, because we're not going to do it if you don't say anything. Because I say I'm a sarcastic individual, Colin, and I don't know if our listeners know all of that all the time because they can't see my facial expressions and see me laughing when I say ridiculous things on the microphone. But
they can on our Patreon.
They can on our Patreon. But if you want to see Colin and I eat, and I'm regretting saying this on air, and this kind of sucks, but if you want to see Colin and I eat a 5-pound gummy bear between the two of us on Instagram Live, we need to know. And we need you to email or at or whatever you want to do to us appropriately.
Whoa, no.
Appropriately.
Inappropriately.
Appropriately
please.
and inappropriately. Could be better, meh@gmail.com, or you can contact us on our website, couldbebettermeh.com, and tell us that you want us to see us do it. If we get...
One.
No. We had 100 subscribers this week.
There we go.
Yeah. So we have 100 subscribers. So if 15 people reach out to us and say, hey, we want to see you guys eat it, let's do it.
I will. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'll do that. And if nobody reaches out, because nobody will, I'd put that number at 5, not 15. But that's just me.
No. I want 15 people. I am.
If that happens, or if it doesn't happen, then I think it's going to be reserved for the Could Be Better picnic.
Yes, which again, invite only. Glad we're sharing it with everybody here. It's going to be a good time. We'll have photos at least to brag to people. Maybe we'll open up next year. But I want the first annual just to be for friends of the podcast, guests of the podcast, and just people we really like. Like, we don't want to open it up to people we don't at this point.
Yeah, well, we don't like anybody, so
no, we
that
don't.
Doesn't...
But you know who we really like?
We love Natalie Brooke, and we've got a good interview here, right?
It's probably one of the greatest interview we've done that's being released this week.
This is our 19th episode.
Is it?
Well, it's according to my file.
Wow.
So...
Did you think we'd go 19?
No. Will we go to 38?
I think so. I think if we hit 19, we hit 38.
If we hit 38, will we hit 76?
Dude, I like everybody's getting through 69. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Once we get to 50, we're canceling the show.
Yeah, and then we can say on episode 51 it gets brought back by popular demand, but like we never had any.
We never had anybody give a fuck about any of this. But Natalie Brooke is great. That should not be understated.
Yes, and so we had two things that we wanted to make sure that were talked about on this podcast that Natalie forgot to mention. So first, she has an amazing show, June 4th, at the 8x10 in Baltimore with Natalie Brooke and the Infinity Tribe, which is, God, such a badass name.
Yeah, you love that name.
Yeah, freaking Becky. Becky mom.
Becky's her mom.
Becky is her mom, and Becky's a saint. So shout out to Saint Becky for naming...
Shout out to Villain and Saint.
Yeah, the best. And then the second show is June 17th at the Bright Box in Winchester, Virginia, with just Natalie Brooke. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great time. Natalie Brooke is a Frederick treasure. She's a delight, and her passion for music and just really just having a good time with music is so evident, and I'm so glad that she exists. I'm so glad that she was here on the podcast, and this is the interview with Natalie Brooke. We are here at the Could Be Better Studios with Natalie Brooke. Natalie, hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm so excited to be here.
I am stoked that you're here. One, because I manifested this, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, no.
So we had, we talked to Suneva, and I think, no, he did not mention her. Let me cut that. We're going to, we interviewed the Dirty Middle last episode, two episodes back.
Yeah.
And Connor, who plays guitar in your band,
Yep.
he's like, oh, yeah, I'm playing with Natalie Brooke. And we're like, hey, you know what's funny? Natalie Brooke, I reached out to her to come on the podcast, and she didn't respond to my message yet. And he's like, well, you should...
No, I remember Chris told me that, because that was an idea we had weeks ago, was to try and get you on, and he's like, she's just ignoring us.
Yeah, and I was like, I get it. She's doing like a million things, and they're all awesome. She's like, I get it. But then it was...
I didn't. I was pissed.
I'm sure. Are you guys going to say that Connor was like, no, she just sucks at replying?
No, he didn't say any of that.
Okay.
You know, he was the sweetest guy. And so then I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I think it was that night he was in here again. I said, hey, and then I sent you the second message. You're like,
yes.
Shit, dude, I'm so sorry. Here's the thing. Yes, let's fucking do
Yes.
it. And then now, like 2 weeks later, we're here.
Yeah, man, that's how I always am. I'm just like, oh my God, no. Like, I see the message and I'm like, oh, I'll respond to that, in an hour. And then poof, it's gone,
But you're doing like a million things. So I mean,
really, yeah.
Yeah, like all the time. And my favorite thing.
Wait, why isn't this podcast your first priority?
Honestly, I'm really glad that I'm finally freaking here, you know. I was so pumped about it too, and then you said Connor was on it. I looked up your episodes. My friend Sam Smizek was on it. I was like,
Shout
oh
out
my god, this is
Sam.
gonna be the best time.
And it is going to be the best time. We don't know yet, but I think we guaranteed it. We had a contract that she says she has to say that, so everything's fine.
Yeah,
It's
well, I
all
mean,
fine.
we've all got some good drinks in our hands. So
Yeah.
You have the best drink in your
I have
hand.
the best drink in my hands.
Yes.
And Wednesday is the new Saturday.
You have heard it here first. So Natalie, so you're doing a million different things. So my experience with you is, so I've known you, and we've been friendly since, I guess, like, you know,
Yep.
beginning of the 2010s. And so you actually were a extra, if not maybe the main focal point in a music
I
video
have
for a
no
band
idea
that I
how
was
that
in.
happened.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember how that happened either, but it makes me laugh. So I said I was going to show you the photo
Oh, no.
here, and so I'm going to show you the photo now. This is the photo, and I'm going to show it to Colin
Oh
first.
my god, it's 2014, man. No, I can kind of see
so
it.
it's 2014, and
What
so
am I
she-
doing?
So
You're
okay.
holding your eyes.
Yeah, you're holding your. Okay, so
I
for
look
people
like
that are
an
not
alien.
tuning into the live stream, Natalie is holding her eyes open just like this, and it's the widest, creepiest bug thing ever. And-
Yeah, they're also like slightly angled outward.
Yes, and do you remember why?
No.
Oh, this is
I was
so
trying to
good.
make myself cry.
Yes, yes. And you're like, oh, guys,
Yes!
you're like, Chris, okay, and then you felt so bad because you're like, hey, I need to try to cry because I'm trying to get angry and be.
And I've
angry.
never acted before.
Yes, and this was amazing. And so then you said, hey, I'm gonna see if I can hold up with my eyelids and see if that'll make them water. It didn't work.
No,
and
no.
it was hysterical because you felt so bad. I'm like, listen, we're like at my parents' house or my parents' basement with like a bunch of other friends, and no one cares.
So random.
It was so random.
Honestly, the worst part about this photo is just my serious side part.
Yeah, it was a time.
Like, oh man, I'm so glad I have the shag now. I used to just throw all of my hair onto one side of my head. I'm like, Natalie, why are you doing this?
Yeah, life choices.
Oh
but
my
so
God.
you were an extra in a music video, tons of fun.
Yeah.
But since then, it's like, so, you know, we're friends on the internet, and so you are just constantly shredding on the piano.
Yeah,
Shredding.
That's pretty much what I guess I'd call that my job.
Yeah.
I got to do other things to make money, but
Yeah, we'll talk
That's
about that on
the
the
mainsies.
Could Be Better podcast after dark. But yeah, I mean, you
on the
make
Patreon.
you do on the Patreon feed.
Yeah.
But you do, and I mean, speaking of, she has a Patreon page.
I
Like,
do.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
How does
I-
that
I-
work? No.
Dude, I love Patreon, man.
let's stop everything right now and talk
Okay.
about this.
Okay.
First of all, how long have you had it?
Probably a little over a year.
How successful has it been?
It's been an extremely slow increase.
But it works.
But it works. And also, like, the thing for me and why I want to keep putting time and energy into it is because there's no ceiling.
Yeah.
So I know that as it just kind of keeps increasing and the more people are on it, the more people they'll see are on there. And then it's like, you want to be part of the club. And then I think it'll just like exponentially like double.
I've always like the Patreon thing fascinates me
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like you put yourself out there a lot.
Me specifically, or just
well, just people in
on
general.
there?
And do you feel like
Yeah.
you have as well?
I do, yeah, but I also like doing it on there more and doing more like vlog style things because it's more exclusive and then you don't
Right.
feel like it's like just on your whole Instagram. You
And
know?
you're building a fan base, right?
Yeah.
And so it feels even better. But does it ever get you down? Like if I started one tonight, and if by tomorrow I didn't have 1 million followers, I would say I hate myself. How
Yeah.
did that work with you?
Honestly, dude, it is tough. The good news is I've only lost one patron the whole time I've had it, but it was my friend Dante, real good friend Dante, and he just was like, hey, funds are so tight, can't do it. I was like, cool. But nobody has ever like dropped because they didn't like it. So
Did Dante
that-
reach out to you and tell you he was dropping, or they were
yes,
dropping?
he did. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Which was so nice. I know. I
Yeah.
mean, so
No,
he
I
used
just said
to
you're
play
not my
band.
friend anymore. That's what I
yeah, eat dirt.
But yeah, no, it's sometimes I feel like if I post, let's say 5, 6, 7 things, I'm like, okay, still no new people. But then it's like as soon as I get 1 or 2, I'm like, yes,
That's
it's
what
all
I'm
worth
saying.
it.
It's got to be worth it. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah.
And like I said, no ceiling.
And so is it musical performance? And you said vlogs too?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's just kind of getting to know you.
Yeah, it's kind of just like all the things you wouldn't see on Instagram, which are just like generic picture and just like, you know, guitar videos. But like on there, I do a lot of like piano improvs that'll be like anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes long, which, you know, nice little peaceful piano stuff. And I do like an aerial view on the GoPro. So I feel like that is something that people can really enjoy because it's, you know, it's too long to go onto like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, but then they can like download it and keep it forever when it's on Patreon. And then also, yeah, I do some vlogs and stuff like talking through a demo that I made or like gigs with my band and just like more of the behind the scenes stuff that people don't get on social media.
How personal do you get? Like, are you like, hey, I'm going out to dinner. I want you to see this food I got. Does
So
it go like that?
not daily personal, but I definitely I think I've only done like 2 or 3 vlogs, but one of them I really got into how like I felt really bad because I felt like it was literally like 12 minutes of me explaining this whole concept of like my Instagram is this picture perfect thing. And then I remember I had this gig with my band in PA. I had a terrible day. All these things in my life were just like exploding. And I remember like I posted a video from the gig, like 30 seconds of me just like going off on the keyboard. But I remember the rest of that day, I was in the car with Dante, the guy that I mentioned, and I like fully broke down and was like crying, just like having a terrible day, and like all this stuff was going on. And then I just was like, I feel so fake because I like posted this video of just like, you know, it's just unrealistic what we put on social media most of the time. So that's probably the most personal I've gotten. I got a little bit into like what was going on in my life, and that was something I was just really happy to share with people, you know.
Do you now do that on your Instagram feed now, or is it your Instagram feed kind of still more like
honestly, it's still really curated, and I feel bad about it all the time. Like literally like yesterday and today I posted a reel, and like, you know, everything is fine and dandy in life right now, but I'm just like, you know, you don't show like at night with like all your makeup off and just like whatever, like eating tacos. It's like, no, you just like, you just post the perfect stuff with like your makeup on and like the perfect take. And it's like, I don't know, you know, it sets really unrealistic expectations for like everybody.
Yeah. So, okay. So I've known you. So again, we said 2014. Were you always a major slayer of the keyboard even then?
I mean, I've had people tell me that like,
because I don't remember
like, you've always been good. And
yeah, because I remember you played the piano, and I remember like, oh yeah, Natalie plays, and then it was like, shit, Natalie plays.
Well, yeah. So I've honestly had quite the arc in my life. I mean, I've always been so passionate about piano and just playing and just doing it all. But I mean, yeah. So I went from just being like classical piano to then getting into jazz piano, got my first keyboard, got my first synth, started playing live. Honestly, was like a nervous, timid kind of just like whatever on stage at first with like my first college band, but then I really started to like break out of my shell, you know, and then I think things really have like, now it's all branded and all that stuff.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I'm wondering how that evolution sort of takes place. And I hope we get into it, because you were talking about the songs you want to play that we're going to hear, and they're kind of different. They're different sides of you.
Yeah.
And I'd like to set up one right now. I don't know which one you would love the people to hear first, but whichever one that is, I'd like to come back and kind of figure out that transformation from just kind of playing into, you know, even getting into fusion and all of that stuff. So which one would you like to hear? Okay,
definitely the song off of the Instrumental Fusion album, because that song or that album came about. I kind of decided to do all of it during COVID because I felt like my entire background and kind of upbringing with all the classical and then the degree in jazz, I hadn't really gotten to release or record anything or perform anything of that yet. So I really went all in on like going into the jam scene and playing funk and rock music live, which is all just like, for me, it's just all about the performance, having fun, like just one chord jams all night, like love it. I never get sick of it, you know, like I literally don't. But I was like, I had this other side of me that just like writes all this crazy stuff, and I like do listen to just like jazz fusion and jazz all the time. So I was like, I gotta put this stuff out there. So that's really kind of like, that album is kind of the display, or like the, what would I say, like the product of that classical and jazz upbringing combined. Because it's a lot of chords, it's a lot of shredding, it's a lot of like piano interludes and all this stuff. So
then what do you have the name of the song?
Yeah, the song is called Oh Hell No.
Oh, hell
yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah.
was that was the best 10 minutes of your life, you said, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a
good.
10-minute, 10 to 11. It's quite the journey.
And so my question to you, though, and listening to what you said before we heard the song, too, is like, do you think that it's possible for you to get bored with music? You want to keep expanding. You know what I mean, though? Like, you get to a certain level and you're like, no, I got to go this place, and then I got to go to that place. Has music always sort of fascinated you in that way?
Yeah, for sure. So I would describe it more so as wanting to try out different genres and styles and combinations of people and instruments and stuff. I think I became so like technical and all that stuff that people usually associate me with. I think just because I had the classical upbringing, and then I did go to college, which was just like a lot of practice room and a lot of learning stuff. But my main passion and inspiration and motivation behind music is totally just like the experience and like learning new things and people and like feelings and vibes and stuff.
Where'd you go to school?
Shenandoah.
Shout out Shenandoah.
Yeah, Shenandoah Conservatory. Honestly, I really love that place because I went to a school, won't mention, before I went to Shenandoah, and it was just like not doing it for me music-wise.
It was Berkeley, wasn't it? It was Berkeley.
No,
Was
I
Juilliard?
did not.
Juilliard?
Dude, none. I didn't even audition for those. I was like, that's not gonna happen, financially for sure. But yeah. So no, Shenandoah was like a really, really, really awesome. Like it's a small school out in Virginia, but my favorite thing that drew me to it initially was the variety of majors, like everything from like stage makeup and dancing and acting to like different music sectors and stuff. But people are from all over the world there.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, that was like really cool for me.
And when I met you, though, like I don't remember. I mean, so you're 27.
Almost forgot.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So it's like, I mean, it's like I turned 31 this year. It's like, oh, my golden Colin's like 33. It's crazy. We're so close in age.
I'm 80.
Physically. But I remember you always being passionate about music, but I don't remember it being like this, like infectious, like you walk into the Could Be Better Studios just now, and I was like, oh yeah, like she like cares about music, and like you just ooze it out.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Because was it school? Was it high school? Was it like, did you have like a music teacher experience where they were like really great and they kind of gave you on like this jazz drug? Like what is it?
So it's actually kind of the opposite. I've always had it. I remember listening to music when I was younger and watching videos of people playing and doing stuff and being like, oh my God, I want to do that. Like I feel that inside of myself, but I honestly...
No. Do you remember the first video?
Oh, no, it was probably just like metal bands and like Warped Tour and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, just something like that. And just being like, like that raw energy and just stuff like that.
Mine was Guns N' Roses VH1 Behind the Music.
Oh, dude.
And I thought Axl Rose was the coolest guy ever now. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't remember like exactly what it was. But yeah, seeing people perform live, I was like, whoa. But so to answer your question, I was actually just too scared to be this person for so long. And all I want to tell like my students and just people younger than me now is like, dude, like, don't be scared. Don't hold back. Like all this stuff. And actually a big thing for me with COVID, like even up until, so let's see, when did COVID start? 2020, right? February 2020. So even then I had just started my, my band, like the funk band where I sing. It's just called Natalie, Brooke. I had just started it in July of 2019. And I still had a lot of just like, not nerves, but just I wasn't totally cool just like opening up and like giving it my all on stage. And I don't know why. I think it's just insecurity, just stuff like that. Like I don't really get nervous before I play. I would just get insecure about like fully expressing myself and being like completely vulnerable or whatever. Then COVID happens. It all gets just ripped away from all of us. You know, none of us could do anything. We couldn't play any shows for like pretty much 2 years. Our first actual show back was June of 2021.
Dang.
Would that be it? Or was it 2022?
Yeah, it opened up this summer.
It's 2022 now.
Yeah, we started booking. It was last June. We did an outdoor show at the Frederick Eagles Club. Shout out Frederick.
So I guess that
Eagles
would have been like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of COVID where everything got taken away, where I was like, oh my God, when I get the chance to be on stage again, I'm going to be that person that I know that I am.
Yes.
Not that I want to be. I'm like, I know that I am that person. Like, you know, just because with family and friends and when I do feel most myself, like there's nothing held back, you know? So I was like, I just need to be that person on stage, you know? So I guess that would be a positive about COVID. I mean, honestly, screw the whole not playing music for like ever.
Yeah.
You keep going back to being on stage, and being a live artist, I think, is sort of the essence of being a musical artist. I think being able to get in a room with somebody and play is a really big deal. We've had guests on, though, before, and I've been kind of struggling with this, writing my music and trying to collaborate with local people. It's the idea of doing it remotely is something that people are into now. Well, I'm so glad you said that. No, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm with you on that. I can write a bunch of music on drums and synthesizer and all that stuff. And then people are just like, well, just send it to me and then I'll send you something back. I don't want that. I want them to be in the room with me and like go through it. Have you ever tried to write or perform remotely? Has it ever worked?
Yeah, I kind of did all the things. Like I did a live stream. I did stuff like we actually recorded, I think, most of our single like totally remotely, and it works and it does the job. But at some point,
you hate it.
Some point, I gotta get out there and just freaking freak out, on the stage. Like, and the reason why I was like, when you said that about being online and remote, I was just thinking about how dark those days were when we didn't know when we'd be able to go back out and do anything ever again, and all the bands were going live, and it was cool. But I also remember just seeing that like very quickly also lose interest with like everybody watching and doing it, because we're just like, this is not it. No. So.
No, and there were so many bands out there that desperately, like, I think it was, if you were the first few, it was cool. Mm-hmm. But then afterwards, like, I remember I was like,
those were already huge.
Yeah, exactly right. Right.
Goldfinger videos were fun.
Dude, Goldfinger, that was awesome.
Did you see those?
Because it was all the hits.
Goldfinger?
Is that a band? I'm
yes.
so sorry.
You said you were into the Warped Tour thing. They did some of those.
That was a little way back when for me, but yeah.
but Goldfinger's also one of the legacy bands, right? I mean, they were big before Warped Tour was even like really cool. So Warped Tour.
There was a time where Warped Tour wasn't cool.
Bingo. So John Feldman, who now like produces like all of the big bands, it's his band, and so he did like a lot of the early used records, if not the first used record, and a couple after that. But he's a singer of Goldfinger. But then what was cool is they have Travis Barker now playing drums, so like a legend. They have Mike Carrera from MXPX playing bass, which is also dope, and then they have another guitar player who I don't know. Colin, help me out.
Are you confusing them with Alkaline Trio or
Stop.
something?
No.
I wish I knew
Goldfinger does have. They're a super group now.
This does not matter.
Super group.
Super groups are fun.
You put together super groups all the time, do you not?
Well, I guess you could say I put together one for that Fusion album that I did. So that one has, dude, I mean, that playing with those guys just like blows my mind. Honestly, playing with both my bands blows my mind, just in different ways. So the Fusion band, I guess I should probably break down like the things that I do, because for a while, to be fair, like everybody was like, oh my God, you're doing so many things. Like, what are all the bands you're in? And like, I have really wanted to like break that down and just like do my own thing for a while. So I'm finally there. I'm pretty much just in my two bands. So I've got one, which is Natalie, Brooke, just my name. That's the one with Connor from the Dirty Middle, Owen and Sam, and it's like funk, rock, good times, guitar, like sing, all this stuff.
Originals, and covers?
Pretty much all originals. Like,
dope. With
both my bands, it's going to be like 80-90% originals, and then, you got to throw in covers, makes people happy. And then the other one is the, like, I guess you could call it a super group that I made, because I did kind of like individually pick everybody. So that one is called Natalie, Brooke, and the Infinity Tribe. Hold on, I'm about to burp, sorry.
Oh, that's great. Do it into the microphone.
It didn't even happen.
There it was. That was you.
Get out doing it. That was not me. That was Chris.
Sorry, guys.
No, I wish I could have. Okay, so Natalie Brooke and the Infinity Tribe, and that one's got Ari Lesser, who's known for being in Dancing Bears, Grateful Dead tribute. Freaking awesome band. I don't know much about Grateful Dead, but when I go see them, I just kind of lose my marbles. They're so much fun to watch. Such a good time. Artie Sadler, he is in Philly. He's in this, or I think Stig is no longer a band. I really hope I'm not incorrect about that, but I don't think they are anymore. He's a killing bass player. I don't know if I mentioned that Ari was on guitar. Also, they are all A's. So we have Ari, Artie, and then Alex. It drives me crazy. So Alex Petropoulos, who is the drummer of Pigeons Playing Ping Pong. They're a Baltimore jam band. You guys, okay? Yeah.
They're huge. They're huge.
Dude, they're on tour right now.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you get him?
People ask me that.
He's out for like 300 dates a year.
He honestly is. Okay, so like when I started this band, I was like, it's just going to be an album. And then we were playing together and jamming, and I was like, damn, we gotta like play this live.
Yeah.
So we had one show, it like blew my fucking face off. Like you can see the videos of after every song, I just like step back and I was like, what the fuck? Like I was like pulling my hair out because I was just shocked at like playing with everybody. But yeah, so Alex, I was making demos for the project and I was just literally scrolling through Instagram stories and then I came across a video of him. I'd been following him for a while and then I was like, whoa, this fucking video right here sounds like exactly what I want on this album.
Yeah.
I just messaged him and I was like, hey man, I got these songs. Like, here's Google Drive folder. Like, you want to make this album? He was like, yeah, sure, cool.
No way.
That's literally it. Everybody's always like, oh my God, how'd you get Alex? I'm like, I just messaged him on Instagram.
That's awesome. It's just being a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And also, I was just going to say, like, I did later find out, I think it's pretty up his alley too. Like, he shreds like a maniac.
yeah, he does.
He
fucking
really
shreds
does. There was
like that.
one point in the first show we had. There's also a video of that too. I'll try to find it. Where he's just doing some drum fill on the cymbals and just like almost jumped out of his seat. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, he's awesome.
Well, that obviously leads us to the second music break.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I guess it's not going to be a Pigeons Playing Ping Pong song, but
Nah, but they did just release an album.
I know. Have you listened to it?
No, I have not. I'm
Oh.
pretty bad about that stuff. I
You
always
don't listen
get
to
new
music, do you?
music. No, I do. I listen to the old same stuff constantly.
Have you heard of this new band, In Sync?
New band.
New band.
New band.
New
And
band.
you, band.
In the sink, like
In the
IN space SINK.
Oh,
No.
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 Oh, that's disappointing.
Justin Timberlake and In
Honestly,
Sync.
though, what a good band name. In Sync.
So what's the second song? What do you want to hear?
Second song is going to be from my other band that I've definitely got to talk up after this. It's with my all my Frederick homies. So this one's called Organs of the Wolf. I definitely got to shout out Connor Sheedy on this one because this man played drums, guitar, and mixed mastered the whole thing. He's an absolute wizard. We just did everything in his basement on his little laptop.
He
So-
does look like an anti-wizard. He's not really old, but he's very, very young looking.
Well, so here it is again. What's the name of the song?
Organs of the Wolf.
Connor, the wizard.
The wizard.
He walked into this place and said, "Where the fuck am I? And I don't know what's going on."
And he refused to take off his shoes.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
his personality 100% of the time. Love the guy, but he's just like
He's on another level.
he is. He is.
But it's cool because he's got the chops.
He's got all kinds of chops.
He was a good sport about everything too. I
Yeah.
and here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think being in a band has as much to do with the personal connection as it does with the musical ability.
Oh, honestly, dude, what's the percent breakdown of like personality management and band / music? Because
Please tell me.
I feel like it's like 80% band management, people management,
Yeah.
personality.
Like anybody can learn how to play, but if you
Yeah.
vibe with somebody, that's a different
Yeah.
thing, right?
And then also like the business side of everything is everything. And then it's like everybody's involved in all the business, decisions. And it's like, you got to drive places. You got to buy food. You got to find Airbnbs. You got to not get paid. And when you drive far away and play a show, everybody's got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So
So are you kind of the ringleader for that for both bands or one band? Or?
totally. Yeah.
Do you like being the leader?
I do. I was going to say that immediately after I was like.
Control
yeah,
freak.
No, honestly. So I've been talking. I mean, I get whatever.
I am a classic control freak, so it's all good.
Okay, so I guess I will say yes, and then also I think specifically I've been talking to somebody about this a lot lately. Is that I think bands do really well with like the pyramid look or whatever. Like you gotta have
Pyramid
a leader.
scheme?
No,
Don't
see,
you-
I was
don't-
gonna
don't-
say
don't you
that,
gonna
and
say
I was gonna say that. I was like, that's not what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but you gotta have like a leader. I think that like a lot of people think of bands as like group effort, everybody. Yeah, no, I think that always causes problems. I've been in bands like that. It's kind of a nightmare.
It's called a reggae band.
Oh,
That's not true.
Is it?
That's mean.
Is it not true?
Dude.
Tell me right now, Colin, who is the drummer of a reggae band. Is it not like that? Is it a flat hierarchy in the Double or Nothing camp?
I don't.
ooh, flat hierarchy. I like that.
I feel like you have somebody. I don't know that it's this. You're talking about. You were saying like financials and like you go out and like all of that.
Kind of like everything.
Well, I know, but you lumped that in, like the idea
Yeah.
of the booker, the person who sells merch, like all of that. You keep
Yeah.
track of everything, but musically,
Mm.
you need to have somebody who kind of draws the line and says, "This is my vision," or "This is what I would like.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, I don't want you to be here."
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you rule the roost when it comes to the bands? Are you
Yeah.
like, you can't play that drum fill, get the fuck out?
Well, okay, hold on, wait. There was something that you said, and I had a thought right when you said it. What was it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I did rehearse that, but I lost the speech.
Oh no. Hold on,
Somebody-
it's right there.
Somebody who has to draw the line? Was that it?
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. All right, so I was going to say, you were saying something about somebody has like the musical direction. And then I was thinking that if you did have like everybody contributing to the musical direction and a bunch of different songs, I could be wrong about this. But I do think that like then the musical vibe or just like overall color could be kind of scattered, So I think there should be like a streamed line.
Well, with that, yeah, and I agree with that. And the other thing that I think should be said about it is you can find a great player. Like there are great players out there.
Oh, yeah.
And you can find them, but they might not be what you're looking for. There's somebody completely different who you think it's a lot like relationships. It's a lot like dating and all of that. Like there you can find somebody objectively who is just very good at playing music, but then you say, but I need this other thing that's a little looser, a little edgier. Is that your approach?
100%, dude. It's actually, in my opinion, so little about the technical level of playing or whatever past a certain point. I mean, do the normal stuff good, but then after that, it's all about clicking. And that's why I feel so blessed to have my band members in Natalie, Brooke, because it's actually real crazy now because Connor and Owen have been in it from the beginning. I met them through the jam session at Old Town in Frederick. That used to be
shout out
on
to Old Town.
Sundays. I know. I wish they'd bring it back. And
Start the
then,
petition here, folks. Let's go. Call them at 1-800-OLD TOWN.
for
Let's go.
real, man. They don't have any music there anymore, and it's so frustrating. But yeah, so I've been playing with them forever. And we used to just, I think that open jam was like 4 hours, and we would go in, and there were no songs. It was just all jams. So we really, really glued there just naturally. We were all friends. And then there was this guy, Sam, who we used to call Overalls because he was very stylish and he used to wear like overalls. And also think he looks like an American Eagle model. That's also what I like to call him. But so he is a killing drummer, and you know, as we've I think talked about, like Connor plays like kind of all the instruments. Owen does a little bit too, but so it's usually like Connor on guitar, Owen on bass, and this guy Sam on drums. So then Sam goes and like lives in DC for a couple of years. I have Connor on drums in my band, and then like a variety of guitar players. And this guy Sam comes back to Frederick. I see him in Cafe Nola. I was like, dude! I immediately go up to him and I was like, oh my God. And then the idea came into my mind like right away. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Connor is a ripping guitar player. I was like, move Connor to guitar, get Sam on drums. And then we have this band that started off just like jamming together years ago. So yeah, it's all about that glue. And like everybody sounds great in their own right, but then it's like I feel like we're like homies in the best sense of the word.
And it comes full circle. That's
it does.
That's
I know. It's crazy. I would have never thought. I thought about this like when Sam came back into town. I was like thinking when Connor was on drums and we needed another guitar player again because my friend Dante, who I mentioned, he was playing guitar. He moved to Florida. He's going on tour with Steve Vai or whatever, as his guitar tech.
Or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. No, I love that guy. He 100% deserves that gig. But yeah, so I was like, all right, gotta find another guitar player, and like that was tough for like what you're saying about like for guitar in my band. Unfortunately, that person had to have like so many elements, and it's not about like I feel like people always associate me with just like crazy jazz chords and blah blah all this stuff, but it's like that band I was like I need somebody who can just like rip a really good fun solo. Like yes, they can like play the chords that I might name that are crazy occasionally, but that band it's mainly just like basic stuff. It's just supposed to be fun. And then like, you know, we got to get along, and then like good stage presence, so there was like kind of a lot of boxes that needed to be checked. But then Connor, you know, bam bam bam, he kills it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Sam's awesome on drums, too. So,
do you all drive in the same vehicle to shows?
So we haven't had too many out of town yet because...
Book her, people.
Yeah.
Book her.
Let's go.
Thanks,
At
man.
Natalie Brooke,
okay, well,
right?
actually, no. So starting in June, we've got tons of stuff because we just got a new agent. And then we had some shows like in March, nothing, April, May.
Did you set up the agent?
Yes, I did.
Heck yeah.
Is his name Colin?
No. His name is Chris.
Oh, it's not me. It's not me. It's not me. I promise it's not. Is it, has it been awesome?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't think somebody can lead their band and book. I don't think anybody can book and do anything else.
It's hard.
At the same time.
Booking is a full-time job.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like everything is timely, and there's so many like things to balance, and it's just honestly such a nightmare. When I try to explain it to people that like don't really know about it, like my mom or something, I'm like, Mom, I can't.
It's hard to. It's like, you know, when MySpace was a thing. So I wasn't the leader of any band I've been in, but I've always been like the business guy, and I've also been always the booking guy. And so I think that's where kind of like you and I are like spirit animals, I guess, a little bit, because I'm just like, like I see the hustle, I'm like, this is awesome. But it's tough, and then it would be the worst because all you're doing is like, hey guys, I need you to get me back on your schedule. Can you do this date? And I'm like, well, I'll let you know. I'm like, when? And
right.
Like, Chris, can you calm the fuck down? I'm like, no, I know, and that's it.
My agent got on me about that a couple weeks ago because one of my members wasn't answering. He was like, I can't wait this long to confirm something.
Yep. And it sucks because it's all about that moment of opportunity. And it's like, you know, I even played with Double Motorcycle for a little bit, and like all crazy things aside, the nice thing was, hey, can you do this date? Yes. Would that answer change? Sometimes, but at least the first answer was always yes, I can do it.
Right.
And it was amazing. So this podcast comes out on the 12th of May. So that's when people are listening to this now. So happy spring. Hopefully it's not raining today and the sun is out longer. So this is just a great time to be alive. What is coming up with both bands? So Natalie Brooke and then Natalie Brooke and the
Infinity Tribe.
God, it's such a badass name.
Dude, I don't know how I came up with it. Actually, can't take all the credit for it. My mom, Becky.
Shout out to Becky.
She helped.
Damn,
yeah.
Becky Brooke?
No, Becky Burt.
Becky Burt. Still with the B.
Double B's.
Yeah, you know my last name is not Brooke, right?
Oh, we do now.
Gasp.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, you don't remember what it was before, Chris?
Burkett?
No, it starts with an A. It's Ahern.
Ahern.
Do you remember that?
Oh, son of a bitch, no way.
Yeah.
Oh,
I turned my name into like a stage. I mean, Brooke is just my middle name.
Okay.
But Ahern was just so, it sounds to me like, It sounds like nothing. And then also when I would be in clubs, people like, what are your name? I'm like, it's Natalie Ahern. Like, doesn't work. Too many vowels. Doesn't make any sense.
Good for you.
But people get Natalie Brooke. It's like they can just hear that and like, you know, pocket it.
You've like fooled everybody.
I know, I love it.
And it's so organic. And I think that's some of my favorite parts of just being around you, where it's like, hey, there is this stage persona, but there is also still this true, just genuine connection of like, hey, I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love it. So,
Yeah.
I guess we're here for the final music break.
Yeah, what is it? What are we gonna hear?
All right, so this last one, and then also.
And I was gonna ask you about things like Chick Corea and all these different.
You did not
fusion.
just say Chick Corea. That dude's my number one.
I had all these questions for you, but you're gonna
Part two.
Dude,
have to
let's
come back.
do a part two.
We'll have to do a part two.
Let's do a part two.
Return to Forever. Have you ever listened to Return to
yes,
Forever?
I have,
okay.
dude. Yep.
I just next time come correct, okay?
I will. I'm gonna send you some stuff to listen
All right.
Chick Corea, Hiromi Yuhara, Oscar Peterson. Oh, I was gonna try to keep it to 3, but I gotta put Herbie Hancock in there. You can't leave that guy out.
I saw
Those
Herbie.
people are my heroes.
I saw Herbie at the Kennedy Center
You did
4
not.
years ago,
You
I
did
think,
not.
and he had the best band he's ever
They have
had.
the guitar.
Yes.
Yes.
Vinny Caliuta played drums. It was a hero moment.
Wow.
But we can't talk about that now because we're out of time.
Okay.
So thanks,
right.
thanks for fucking us on this.
Yeah, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's
Fuck you for having me in here.
It's the 10-minute song.
So we'll have part 2. What's the song?
Okay, so this song. Wait. Oh God, I gotta say this out loud. Okay, this is what you guys asked for. You guys asked for vulgarity. So
We did.
All right, so Connor wrote the core of this song, like the roots of it. Connor Sheedy and my band Natalie Brooke. He wrote it on guitar, brought it to rehearsal. Me, him, and Owen pretty much probably wrote like the second half or like the last third. And he called it Funk Me in the Ass. Or did I call it Funk Me in the Ass? I think maybe it was a group effort.
Sounds like a group effort.
I think it was because I was like, I want to have a song that's, like funk me up or like whatever. We have another song in our set called Funk Real Life, and we also have Funk Me in the Ass. So this one's called Funk Me in the Ass.
That's awesome.
Sponsored by the United Methodist Church.
Yes. Natalie, where can people find you on the internet?
Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon, and my website.
Dope. Natalie, you're the best. Thank you for coming on.
You guys are the best.
Could Be Better podcast is produced by Chris Perry and Colin McGuire from the Could Be Better Studios in Frederick, Maryland.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at couldbebettermeh.
You could also email us at couldbebettermeh@gmail.com. And don't be afraid to reach out if you're an artist, a band, anybody looking for a show. We'd love to book you. Also, if you'd happen to want to be a sponsor, we'd like to hear from you too.
Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a 5-star review if you like what you hear and want to hear more. And also give us a 5-star review if you don't like what you heard, definitely don't want to hear more.
His name is Chris Perry.
This is Colin McGuire.
And we are out of time. For now, this could be better.